about you being gone is I can watch the game all day long, and I can stretch my legs out in the bed, extra pillow underneath my head. I don't know why nobody ever told me about the upside of lonely. I got a lot more room for my stuff, and I only have to wash one cup. I can stay up late and play my guitar, and the groceries go twice as far. I don't know why nobody ever told me about the upside of lonely. Your girlfriends ain't ringing the phone off the wall. I never have to hear from that mother-in-law. Ain't cut the grass since the middle of June. I smoke a big cigar up in my living room. Don't know why nobody ever told me about the upside of lonely. Dirty clothes right on the floor. Let the trash pile up right by the door. Eat pizza and ice cream 3 times a day, 'cause I ain't worried about watching my weight. I don't know why nobody ever told me about the upside of lonely. Yeah, man, just think about all the good things about you being gone. Stretch out here at home. Hey, man, come on in. Don't mind the muddy shoes on the white carpet. She ain't here. You hungry? Hey, man, I got some food if you want to eat. I got a microwave oven with little pictures on the front of it. Just pick what you want to eat and push the button, and it will cook it for you. Yeah, man, you can smoke that cigar up here in the kitchen. Just use that vase over there. Need something to drink? We got beer, bourbon, whiskey, scotch, Diet Coke, Fanta. Yeah, man, I bet you've been on the road for a minute. Bathroom's right down the hall. Switches on the left, doors on the right. Just remember to leave the lid up. Leave it up. Hey everybody, welcome to Wednesday Night Facebook Live. I'm your host, Brian Nova, and we've got some great music for you tonight, and some a wonderful guest. The one and only John Smyth is going to be joining us in just a little bit, so we thought we'd get some stuff going on here first. Here's a song by Frank Lesser, 1950. I've never been in love before. Now all at once it's you forevermore. I've never been in love before. I thought my heart was safe. I thought I knew the score. But this is too wide, it's all too strange and strong. I thought my song was foolish song, and out my song must pour. So please forgive this helpless haze I'm in. I've really never been in love before. Before. Now all at once it's you forevermore. I've never been in love before. I thought my heart was safe. I thought I knew the score. But this is why it's all too strange and strong. I'm full of foolish song, and on my song must pour. So please forgive this helpless haze I'm in. I've really never been in love before. I've never been in love before. I wish I could say that's a true story, but it really isn't. But it's a great song, one of my faves. So listen, what's been going on around here? First and foremost, I want to talk about subscribing to our YouTube channel right here. That's right. We are going to make the move very soon here, folks. YouTube, then onto our website. So you'll be able to check this out without having to even deal with some of the problems of Facebook. Also over here on this side, we have our tip jar. Please take a look at that. And if you can, we could certainly appreciate anything you can help. It's never expected, but always appreciated. Anytime. It costs money to put on a little show like this every week. So, anyway, enough of the commercials. As you probably noticed, We are in a new room tonight. This is my one of our many music rooms in the house. I'd probably call this the amp room, where we keep a bunch of amps and guitars and such and such. So we thought we'd try something new for a change. And big shout out there to all our friends up at the Churchill Room. I see Ron and my amigo Georgie and everybody up there. I see Aaron, my big pals over at Virgo Club. Hello to everybody over there. Olivia, John Connors. Nice to see you, John. Thanks for tuning in. We've got all sorts of people tuning in with us tonight, so I'm loving it. And of course, as we're talking about Vertigo, and we are talking about Churchill Room, I also want to mention our, this is a campy thing here, but this is our Mirage Cigar Lounge here down in Rancho Mirage, California, folks. And this is courtesy of Rancho Mirage, California. This is an Ashton. Get some light on that thing. Ashton Churchill that will be lighting up and burning down to the nubs tonight, I can tell you that. What else do we have to talk about? PDT here. Good to see everybody from PDT. There's Aunt Margie. Aunt Margie, so glad you guys are tuning in with us tonight. All right. We've got all kinds of great other music here. We've talked about cigars. We've talked about... oh, you know what? Well, I can talk about this now, I guess. You guys all know my bass player, Terry Miller. The incomparable, indubitable, all sorts of other ins. Terry Miller. He sent me this today. Terry, thank you so much. I have no idea what it is. Masoni and I have been looking at this for an hour or two, and we thought, wow, it's a pen that doesn't write. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool. And then I realized that the end of this thing screws off. Look at that, honey. And at first I thought maybe it was like your own private COVID test that you could take this. Yeah, we could do our own private COVID tests. But I think it's for fondues, actually. So, Terry, thank you for the fondue stick. I really appreciate it.
Do you stick your cigar at the other end?
Oh, yeah, cigar stick. I bet you that's what this is. Stick this in the cigar, and it helps it, breathe.
Just be very fly.
But, yeah, it's very fly. And I still think it makes a great fondue stick. I think it's very classy. And you can walk into a restaurant, don't you think? Honey, come in and go, oh, I'm sorry, but I've got my own fondue stick. Thank you very much. Anyway, Terry, Carol, thank you very much.
Just let us know what it is.
That's right. If you and Carol could call us or email us or let us know here and let us know that Brett says it's a Persian shank. Yes, it's a very civilized Persian shank. As a matter of fact, I can wear it. I can wear it with my oranges out there. All right. Good to see you, Brett and Liz. Glad you guys are joining us. I thought we'd do a little blues. Here's a little blues by the great Duke of Ellington. Ain't got the change of a nickel. Ain't got no bounce in my shoe. Ain't got no fancy to tickle. I ain't got nothing but the blues. Ain't got no coffee that's working. Ain't got no winnings and lose. Ain't got a dream that is working. I ain't got nothing but the blues. When trumpets flare up, I keep my hair up. I just can't make it come down. Believe me, Pappy, I can't get happy since my ever-loving baby left town. Ain't got no rest in my slumbers. Ain't got no feelings of bruise. Ain't got no telephone numbers. I ain't got nothing but the blues. trumpets flare up, I keep my hair up. I just can't make it come down. Believe me, Pappy, I can't get happy since my ever-loving baby left town. Ain't got no sleep in my slumbers, ain't got no feelings to bruise, ain't got no telephone numbers, I ain't got nothing but the blues. I ain't got no telephone numbers, I ain't got nothing but the blues. That's the note I was looking for. Hey, there's Dr. Steve. Good to see you, Steve. Mia. James, good to see you too. Tracy, welcome back. Good to see you. That's right. Sometimes the guys just got to play. I'm telling you, I'm feeling like playing tonight. A couple weeks ago, we did a little tribute to the great Herb Ellis, and we will be doing a tribute to the great Joe Pass in the very near future. So I thought maybe I would just play one of my tunes that I learned from the great Joe Pass. Taught me this one as a child. I was a child of 31, but nonetheless a child compared to today. This one is Neil Hefti's Little Darling. Little Darling by the great Neil Hefti. Ah, wonderful, wonderful. So, have we heard from our guest yet, honey? We're still working on getting John on the line. John has had to fly to Fort Lauderdale late last night, so we're trying to time in, get everything worked out, all that, blah, 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 blah. Big hi out there to Bob Sky. Bob Sky. And what else do we have to talk about? Well, what I'd like to know, folks, is give us a little thumbs up, thumbs down, or maybe some comments about our new little set here. See if you like it better here in the amplifier room, or if you like it better over in the living room, kind of, sort of, music room where we have a piano and all that other stuff. So input is always appreciated. All right, so my pal is now with us here. We have got with us all the way from Fort Lauderdale, where it must be like, I don't know, 3 in the morning by now over there, joining us. How about a hand? Bring him on in, folks. How about our special guest tonight, John Smyth. John, are you there? John? Yeah, he's in there somewhere at the right. There you go. There he is.
Hey, gang.
John, look at you, man. It's like, you're in Florida, aren't you?
I'm in North Palm Beach, Florida. 84 degrees.
No
forest fires. No Antifa yet.
Well, hey, give it a minute.
Yep. Hurricane's on its way at some point.
I love it. I love it. Hey, listen, first and foremost, I can't thank you enough for taking the time off here. We got a bunch of guys. Bob Sky says hi. And
Roberto.
I know I've got to get Bob Sky on here and get some congas going and some harmonicas. Hey, listen, so what I wanted to talk to you about is I think what I'd like to do first, if you don't mind, is let the folks get a chance to hear us play a tune together. We have a couple of them that we did for this week that John was kind enough to help us out with. This first song is an Irving Berlin tune called Isn't This a Lovely Day? And it's going to be with yours truly on guitar, of course. John singing the verse, which is very important, right, John?
Yep.
We both agree that the verse is almost as important as the rest of the song. And, of course, the indelible Terry Miller on bass and Andy Frager Jr. on the drums. So give it a listen. Check it out. Here we go, John.
The weather is frightening, the thunder and lightning seem to be having their way. But as far as I'm concerned, it's a lovely day. The turn in the weather will keep us together, so I can honestly say that as far as I'm concerned, it's a lovely day, and everything's okay. Isn't this a lovely day to be caught in the rain? You were going on your way, now you've got to remain. Oh, just as you were going, leaving me all at sea. The clouds broke, how they broke, and oh, what a break for me. I can see the sun up high, though we're caught in the storm. And I could see where you and I could be cozy and warm. Let the rain pitter-patter, 'cause it really doesn't matter if the skies are gray. Just as long as I can be with you, it's a lovely day. the sun up high, though we're caught in the storm. And I can see where you and I could be cozy and warm. Let the rain pitter-patter, 'cause it really doesn't matter if the skies are gray, just as long as I can be with you. It's a lovely day.
Beautiful, John. Wow.
Well, I'm
Great
lucky
tune.
to have you guys back me up.
Oh, dude,
Great
we're lucky
musician.
to have you
Very
out
nice.
front. Hey, listen, we got some pals, some more pals. Tom Williamson says hi. He says, say hi to my alma mater, University of Miami. You're on the board over there at University at the Frost School, right?
Correct, with some phenomenal musicians and some great musicians who happen to be businessmen who are very supportive of the school. They do a great job there.
That's a great program over there. Who else do we have here? I saw some other folks.
Bob Stein.
Bob Sky and hold on just a little bit, honey. Anyway, we're trying to figure out how to roll the scroll back up and down. So listen, I'll tell you what I wanted to ask you about. When you're going out to start to choose some tunes that you want to sing, you know, when you're starting to look at your repertoire and the things that you want to pick, what kind of process do you go through with that?
Well, I listen to endless tunes. I mean, YouTube is a great resource because it only takes one fan to put something up on YouTube versus iTunes. So YouTube's been very helpful. I try and find the original recording. I try and do as close to the original as possible. If the song was written in 1924, I want to know what it sounded like to an audience member in 1924. So I tend to do things straight and try and make it sound like it did when it was written. So, you know, a good example would be, you know, songs written by Jewish immigrants for Tin Pan Alley and Broadway in the late 20s. That seems to be an incredible amount of the seeds of the Great American Songbook started really right then. And I just fish in those waters endlessly, looking for unique songs or songs by great artists that weren't, you know, that were on the B-side. You know, everybody hears the standard, so to speak, but
Sure.
There's a lot of second-tier gems that are part of the Great American Songbook. And I like to, you know, it's like having an orphanage for songs that need a home. These songs need a happy home, and everybody knows "Fly Me to the Moon."
Right.
But I want to know, you know, I want to perform in the wee small hours of the morning because that doesn't get enough love, you know, and that's a really unique song.
It's a gorgeous song.
It's a gorgeous song.
We should have done that this week. Maybe we'll have to redo
I know,
that and have you back on there. It's one of my favorite songs.
Well, you know, one of the unique things about Sinatra, and he was lucky in this way, in that his arrangers arranged around the vocals, so he was the only one on the melody. If you just pulled his voice out and listened to the charts, there is no, and they're just gorgeous pieces of music. But he was very, very fortunate to work with some really great arrangers, and they really supported his craft.
Oh, man. Hey, got a couple other highs. Rick Pedley's out there, says hi. Murray Orrick, Bob and Liz Lantham. Lisa Smith says hi. And Leo Vigil. All kinds of folks out
Another
there.
Leo.
Yeah. We had Leo on a few weeks ago, man. He had, it was great. He did a couple tunes with us, and each tune he did, he changed his drum kits. So it was a different drum set. And I don't know if everybody noticed. I certainly did, because they had a different sound to them, and so it was really a lot of fun. Hey, when you're going after it, so let's say, because I've heard you do some outrageous tunes. I mean, where the words and the lyrics are going by so fast, and it seems like almost nothing matches up to the other. You know, I know you pick a lot of tunes that are sort of not of the 32 bar norm.
Correct.
Do you look for those on purpose, or is that just kind of?
I like a challenge. It keeps one sober. You know, you can't relax. You can't have a few pops and get up and do those tunes.
No.
Really rapid fire. It wakes an audience up. You know, if you're performing for a group and it's after lunch, you're going to do a love song. So I like to do stuff that's challenging for the audience. You know, again, I love these rapid fire, hot, you know, I call them hot tunes from Manhattan in the late 20s. And there's a ton of them, but they're not popular today because they're really challenging. And there's 4,000 lyrics to memorize, and people don't want to do that. I like the challenge, and it's fun for me to do that.
I mean, you kill it. So listen, you sent us, we got our hands on a video from Broadway Melody, 1929, right?
1929. Actually, so the setup is talking, when you look at the Great American Songbook and sort of where it got its start, it's really the immigrants to America bringing a little bit of old Europe with them and melding it into the new sounds that they find in America, primarily in Midtown and Lower East Side of Manhattan. So there's a wonderful lyric in the verse to a song called Crazy Rhythm, which is Roger Wolf Kahn, lyrics by Irving Caesar, 1928. The show was Here's How It ran for all of 2 months, but it gave us a gem of a song. And why the verse is important. Everybody knows crazy rhythm, here's the doorway. I go my way, you go your way. Crazy rhythm, from now on we're through. Okay, everybody knows that. But the setup to that is wonderful. And the second verse is set up like this. Every Turk, each Greek, and each Latin, the Russians and Prussians as well, when they reach the shores of Manhattan, are sure to fall under your spell. Their native folk songs they soon throw away. Those Harlem smoke songs they soon learn to play. So that's where this music comes from. It's a lovely little verse. It's lost. Nobody performs it. And it's not even the first verse. It's the second verse. So that's the setup for Tin Pan Alley. So this is what Irving Berlin came into in the early teens, and this is what George Gershwin came into in the late teens until he wrote Swanee in 1919 with the same lyricist from Crazy Rhythm, Irving Caesar. And so these everybody was pushing sheet music because nobody had a radio. It was all piano at home, and musicians made a living plugging the latest sheet music. And so when you went into one of these places in the 40s, on Broadway, off of Broadway, what was the atmosphere? And that atmosphere was brought to life in a 1929 film called Broadway Melody of 1929. And what I like about it is it shows the energy of all this different music taking place at the same time. And this wonderful song plugger is Charles King is the performer, putting over a wonderful Arthur Freed tune called Broadway Melody. And Arthur Freed was born in Charleston, South Carolina, made his way to Hollywood and became the king of MGM musicals. And Singing in the Rain is a comp, so he's a very important guy to movie musicals. So this is a video clip of Charles King in 1929. In fact, Arthur Freed makes a little guest appearance in the background here. But it's a lovely gem of a song. And if you don't think you have the chops, you can still sell a song. Watch Charles King sell the hell out of Broadway Melody.
All right, well, here it is, Broadway Melody from 1929. It's a quick clip, and this is what it was like, folks, back in the day. Check it out.
little clap and everything, you know? Come on, now vamp until ready. Let's go. Go on, Herb. That's it. The chorus in F sharp. There may be streets that have their sorrow, a smile today, a tear tomorrow. But there's a street that lives in glory. It always tells the same old story. Don't bring a frown to old Broadway. You've got a clown on Broadway. Your troubles there are out of style. But Broadway, your way, where to smile. A million lights, they flicker there. A million hearts beat quicker there. No skies are gray on the great white way. That's the Broadway melody. Don't bring a clown to old Broadway. You've got a clown on Broadway. Your troubles there are out of style. But Broadway, your way there to smile. A million lights, they flicker there. A million hearts beat quicker there. No skies are gray on the great white way. That's the Broadway melody. Hot dog.
Hot dog.
Anytime you put a song with hot dog, you pick the right song.
Oh man, yeah, hot dog.
That guy selling junk bonds in the 80s, he would have made $50 million a year.
Yeah, he was selling it, boy. I'll tell you. And he
Anyway,
has
so that's the melting pot where all these great tunes came from, and it's wonderful to revisit that, and you know, I'm happy to have an iPad and penicillin, but it would have been fun to be around for a little bit of those years.
Oh boy, I'll tell you. Have you found any gems lately that you're kind of fallen back in love with?
You know, I found a really cool version. In fact, I think Terry has received a really cool version of Cole Porter's "Too Darn Hot."
Oh, yeah.
And it was an arrangement done by Mel Torme, who was a phenomenal musician. You know, great. You know, one of the great jazz singers of all time, and a great drummer and a great arranger. And he did a wonderful arrangement for a brass dectet back in the early 70s, and then he scaled it down to a trio with his scat vocals taking most of the brass parts, and very, very challenging, and just a really cool adaptation of a a standard, but it's a great version. So that's my.
Well, dude, now we've got all kinds of songs for next time. I'm hoping to get you back on here and have you sing some of these other great tunes, man. They're, I love all the old great American Songbook.
Well, you played a great one. I've Never Been in Love Before. That's a wonderful song, and you know, the guy who did that on Broadway for the very first time was Alan Alda's dad, Robert Alda. And
really?
He never would be on Broadway today. You know, you got to have all this vibrato. You got to sound like Mandy Patinkin. No, he sounded like he just walked out of the local saloon. He sort of had this sort of cleft palate sound, very smoky and, very unique style that you could do in 1948 or whenever the show was. But, he was a very cool character, Alan Alda's dad. Go back and listen to the original. And My Time of Day, oh my God, you got to listen to all the originals, because they honestly, almost always they were the best. Unless Sammy Davis covered it later, the original is almost always the best.
I have to agree with that. Well, listen, I've got another tune I want to play for the folks here while we got you here. This one is actually very dear to my heart. I'm so glad you brought this one up. This is a song that was always bumping around the jazz world, especially in the late 40s, all through the 50s. Because I used to play this with Herbie Ellis used to play this song, and Ray Brown. I played with Ray Brown, and it's sort of one of those songs that I hadn't heard for years. And then when you brought it back up, I was just like, oh man, I love that tune. putting all my eggs in one basket. So check it out. We'll talk about a little bit more about it on the other side here. So here is John singing, myself on guitar, Terry Miller and Andy Fraga doing I'm Putting All My Eggs in One Basket. Check it out. Here we go, John. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I've been a roaming Romeo, my Juliets have been many, but now my Roman days have gone. Now too many irons in the fire is worse than not having any. I've had my share and from now on, well, I'm putting all my eggs in one basket. I'm betting everything I've got on you, and I'm giving all my love to one baby. Lord help me if my baby don't come through. I've got a great big amount saved up in my love account, honey, and I've decided that love divided in two won't do. So I'm putting all my eggs in one basket. I'm betting everything I've got on you.
Yeah.
Got a great big amount saved up in my love account, honey, and I've decided that love divided in two won't do. So I'm putting all my eggs in one basket. I'm betting everything I've got on. I'm betting everything I've got on. I'm betting everything I've got on you.
I love it.
Well, I
There
tell
you
you, there's
go.
a good lesson there for you singers out there. Make sure you're in the right key.
I know, Johnny. I heard that last night. I thought I should have done that up probably a minor third.
Yeah, that's my fault. I say yes to anything.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
I can do it.
It's all the same.
Well,
Spoken like a
you've got that Broadway melody. Can do it. It's I can do it. Put me in, coach.
tenor.
Hey, so what's new on the horizon for you? What got any plans? I know we're all sort of in lockdown right now with.
Well, I try and work on a historical, some sort of history lesson show that involves music. I just finished one that involved the government policies of the Great Depression and the music that was spun out of these policies. So policy created deflation. There's some great tunes about deflation, inflation, the same things, songs about the stock market crash. And it's a really interesting look at sort of the musical history of the Great Depression, but with an eye towards the economic policies that sort of brought these circumstances about. And then I've got one that I started having in my mind, the opening of a Grauman's Chinese Theater, a big movie premiere, and similar to the the opening scene in Singing in the Rain, where they're all coming across the red carpet and they're doing their memories of what got them to where they are, and it's sort of a similar concept, but with a full orchestra and live performance. So that one's mulling about in the back of my brain. I want to do more on, I'd like to do a Cab Calloway show that isn't really just his period with the Cotton Club, but prolific performer and had a phenomenal band.
Oh boy,
and
no kidding.
by the way, great basketball and baseball player. I mean, really first-class athlete as well, as you can tell by his moves on the stage. But he had a really, really interesting life, and his sort of call and response was copying from his older sister, who was a singer in Chicago in the 20s and was dating a married Louis Armstrong at the time, or so it was said. But so I'd like to do something on Cab Calloway that isn't the stuff that you see up front.
Yeah, right.
You know, what's on the B side? I'm always interested in the other side, right? Again, Fly Me to the Moon is a great song, and Sinatra does a great job. I'm going to add little value doing that. So I want to know what's on the B side of that album.
I love it. I love it. John, I can't thank you enough for joining us here tonight, man, and all the hoops you had to jump through. I mean, flying to Florida in the middle of the afternoon yesterday and doing this, and so we so
1:30 in the
appreciate
morning.
it.
That's when I sound my best, according to people who sleep through the shows.
Hey, it's when we all sound our best, let me tell you.
So the world of the Great American Songbook is really small. There's probably a couple hundred people keeping it alive in this great country. And so when I see all the messages coming across, I know that there's an audience out there for this. And if it weren't for people like Brian, we wouldn't be hearing these tunes live. And so please support the Great American Songbook by supporting people like Brian Nova, Terry Miller, Andy Fraga Jr., and whoever's playing in your local bar at 11 at night for tips. Be generous. This is a tough time for live music, so please be supportive.
Oh, John, thank you. Lisa said that you were paying her to watch the show tonight. By the way, on her
Absolutely. You're the only one whose address I have. I'll send you all, a $5 bill in the mail.
John, thank you so much, man. We'll be in touch, and I want to do a show real soon with some of these other songs that we talked about.
I'm all for it.
In the right key.
Terry and Andy, you guys are phenomenal musicians. It's a pleasure to work with you and be your friend.
Same here, John. Same here. All right, man. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. Ah, man. Was that great or what? I love me some John Smyth and some of the great tunes that he helps keep alive. There's just nobody else out there doing that as far as I know. So, God bless you, John Smyth. Well, folks, we're getting down to that time again in the evening. I'm going to do another tune since it is kind of fall, at least here in the desert. It turned to fall just like that. It went from like 112 to 60 degrees. And so we now feel fall here. So if it is fall in the desert, I'm sure it's very much of a fall wherever you guys are at right now. Except for maybe John and whatever Palm Beach he was, northwest, east, south, Palm Beach. It's all the same. Sunny. So here is one of the original fall songs. The falling leaves drift by my window. The autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, those sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away,
the days grow long, and soon I'll hear a winter song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves starts to fall. Falling leaves drift by my window, the autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, those sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long. Soon I'll hear a winter song, but I miss you most of all, my darling. When autumn leaves starts to fall, when autumn leaves starts to fall, when autumn leaves starts to fall. Beautiful, beautiful song. Well, listen, folks, I want to do a big shout out, big thank you, of course, to the lovely Miss Sony, who helped us keep the show together and put us on. Big shout out to Benedetto Guitars. And, of course, to John Smith, our special guest tonight. Thank you so much, John. And out there, big shout out to Terry Miller. Terry, thank you for that fondue stick or the COVID-19 tester, whatever that is. Thank you very much. We'll find a good use for it. Of course, to Andy Fraga Jr. out there, and a big shout out there to Dr. Eric as well.
Dr. Eric, saving lives, one life at a time, starting with mine. Thanks, Doc. And we just enjoy having all of you guys joining us each week. Who else have I forgot to thank? I think that's about everything. 2 important things. Don't forget to vote, because everyone's vote counts, whether you think so or not, and you have 7 days. Also, I want to wish all of you a happy Halloween. It's going to be Halloween this weekend, and I can tell you,
Please don't do that again.
we for one will not be handing out candy. I can tell you that. I think we're just going to put out some apples outside and let the kids just, pick it off like off a tree or something like that. Anyway, hope you guys have a wonderful week. We will see you next Wednesday night. When you're out there, remember to be kind to each other. And thanks, Elizabeth, and likes the new set. Thank you, Elizabeth. And Uncle James says hi to Ellington. Ellington's passed out over here on the floor. He's had a busy day. He's actually quite sad. He lost one of his best pals, Mojito, this week. So we're sad. I know Dr. Steve and me are very, very sad. So Ellington is in mourning right now. Otherwise, he'd be on my lap right now. So big RIP out there to Mojito. So I hope you guys are sweet to each other, kind to each other. And remember, things get you down and things are looking a little dark. Remember to keep it swinging. Take care.